Y'all be asking the wrong questions of, should a man not be dating if he don't have no money? Some of y'all are lost.
So they can achieve all of these things on their own, and they no longer have to attach themselves to men to get those things. And now that that's the case, we're looking at it as though there's some sort of crisis on our hands that we have to address.
I go to the gym. I do things outside. I go to school. Anybody or meet anybody. So I'm like confused.
He's asking you on dates. Nobody even looks at you, and they're not going to, because you have standards. You are just not where you are. You've worked way too hard.
We women really will step on our own toes. We will. We talk too much. We think we know it all. And we come on here yapping our mouths. We don't know how to play the role of being a woman. We want to be in control. We want to control the man. We won't let the man be the man. We're not playing our position. Tell me I'm lying.
No, she's not
Which
lying.
one of you women gonna take accountability that you know you talk too much? I'll be the first one. That's why I don't show my face like that on here. I let the post talk and the music I play talk. I don't need to do all the talk.
She needs to do a lot of talking right there. I mean, that's facts. That's facts. And this is what men are complaining about. I saw a post today where a Spanish woman tried to stand up for black women. And, you know, she's saying blacks and Latinos need to come together. And I'm thinking, like, you know, Spanish men have social media, right? You know, Spanish men know the history of the community. They're not living under a rock. And yeah, you may go, well, you guys are exposing it. Men actually have been trying to help. When men get on podcasts, when men have these podcasts, Mike, or become passport bros, or as you said, we were trying to help. Then after a while, men said, no more help. Actually, me, myself, I saw there was no return. I did. That's why I left so many years ago, because I knew there was no changing a mindset that was given since birth.
Y'all love to ask if broke men should even be dating, but I would argue that lost men definitely don't need to be dating. I was just sitting out of a coffee shop reading my book for like the last 2 hours, and the guy who was working there kept coming outside to like clean up or whatever, and I wasn't paying attention to him because I was sitting outside reading my book. And then he came over, he gave me a coffee, he was like, oh, you might need a refill. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I was like, oh, is he interested in me? I don't care, because I'm reading my book. And then he comes out, he makes more conversation. He asks me if I'm from around here. I'm like, nah, I'm from DC. I just moved down here for grad school, whatever. And he's like, oh, okay. He knows the program that I'm in. We have a little conversation, and I'm like, okay, about to go back to reading my book. Then he comes back out. He was like, oh, I'm leaving for the day. I just wanted to let you know I thought you were really pretty. I'm like, oh, okay, I appreciate that. Because I can just accept a compliment from another human and go on about what I was already doing. I'm not really thinking that much about you, brother, because I'm minding my business, right? Again, y'all be asking the wrong questions of, should a man not be dating if he don't have no money? Some of y'all are lost. Y'all don't need to be finding nobody to date. You need to be finding yourself. So he leaves to leave, and I just have a thought like, I feel like I need to go. Something is telling me I need to go. So I start to pack up my stuff. He walks back in, and he was like, oh, I forgot something. I don't actually care. I don't need a play-by-play of your day. I was like, okay, do what you got to do. I start to walk back to my car.
Okay.
And I hear him try to say my name. My name is very simple. It's Mila. I just told you what my name was like 2 minutes ago. So now the fact that you don't know the name makes me feel like you're just attracted to me. You're not actually interested in me.
Don't make assumptions.
Not actually listening to me at all. So he's like, hey, I don't usually do this, but can I get your number? And I said, how old are you?
He was nervous,
He looked
that's
a little
why.
bit young. He was like, oh, I'm probably older than you. When he shared his age, I'm like, okay, yeah, you are 2 years older than me. And I said, what are your goals? Because again, y'all love to say that women only want basketball players or people who are.
All right. So first thing she says is, what are your goals? Right. I give her what, maybe 20, but what are your goals at 22? Yes, She has a point. A man should have some goals. And I do believe a woman should be thinking like that. But the way she ends it, you guys are going to see.
We're already wealthy and blah, blah, blah. No, a lot of us are open, but a lot of y'all are lost. So he says, oh, definitely something better than here. I said, okay, something better like what? And he was like, well, I went to Wake Tech for computers and I'm like, okay, so then you're not understanding what I'm saying. What is your dream? What is your goals? And he was like, stuck, silent, stuck, could not say a daggone thing. And that be y'all problem. I already told you a little bit about myself. I told you the program that I'm in. Some of the, you see the book that I'm reading by a black woman CEO.
She thinks that's
and
everything.
I know where I'm headed. Why in the world would I be, what would I be giving you my phone number for?
You're the strong, independent woman that
Why in the world would I be giving you my phone number? So by the end of that, I said, okay, I have no intention of giving you my number, but thank you for coming over. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. It's not that y'all just be broke. Y'all be lost. Find yourself first. It's not about whether or not where you are right now. You work at Starbucks. Okay, you may be building a product on the side. You may be trying to go back to school for something, but y'all not trying to do none of that. You're not doing any of that. Date your peers and leave the rest of us alone.
You see what she just did, right? She's not wrong, though. Yes, I will say that. She is not wrong, but she did it in a wrong way. Like, why would you get on social media? Keep it to yourself. But since she did that, I'm going to address it. Now, she's going to school. That doesn't mean when you get your degree and get out, you're going to make all that money and you're actually going to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. I'm not saying that to say I wish the worst on you. I wish you do accomplish what you're going to accomplish because you went to school, wasted the money on it, and I wish you success. What you did was foul. But I'll say this. A lot of guys are stuck. Like when Kevin Samuels was alive, he would bring guys on the show and he would correct guys, right? Give guys maybe the father treatment they never had. And guys kept going. Then he switched it to women. But I say this. I remember before when he was alive, right? I reached out and I wanted to go on a show before. But he switched it up to women. That wasn't gonna be possible. But I wanted to go on a show. But it didn't make sense. I was going on there on the show for no reason. It's kind of like, it was idiotic, the reason why I wanted to go on the show. I don't know why I wanted to go. I was already doing the work, right? And I was kind of trying to collaborate, but I should have been collaborating. I should have been doing my own thing. This is what I'm talking about. When I went on the show, I was living in the Philippines already. Yes, living in the Philippines full time. I was living in the Philippines full time before he had a YouTube channel. I've been doing this for a long time. And I said it before, but even while the manosphere was being started and while, it was being put together, they was having meetings, doing their thing. And then when O'Shea went out to, I think I forgot what country he went to, but it was like, what do you call that? Like he was in like, not Germany, but I forgot what country it was. But when he was out there, I was here in the Philippines, right? And I say that to say this. I've been working online and I can teach you how to do the same. Men need to understand they do need a goal. A lot of men don't have a goal. They don't go to college, get in what they feel is a good career, or try to get a job. I was there. I did the same thing. But one smart thing I did, I went to sales. I was always able to talk. I went into sales, and that's what made it easy for me to transition to the Philippines, right? But a lot of guys don't have those skills. And that's why I teach what I teach now. Seriously, I teach how to make money online. I teach how to make a lot of money online. And a lot of men need that. So every man can take advantage of a program and use it. And the wild thing is right now, there's a big wealth transfer happening, right? With AI and so many other things, making it easier to make money. You can make money too. Seriously. I'm getting ready to actually, I made the video yesterday. I'm getting ready to have a YouTube channel about God. And it's not even what you think it is. It's doing animation. It's an animation channel. I'm going to have 4 animation channels. I'm doing it all with AI. And as a man, you can do it too. And I actually have a very inexpensive course showing men, how to get your plan together and to execute it. And more men need this because that was that guy's downfall there, right? He's trying to talk to a girl and couldn't get her because he has no direction. I can't even say the girl was wrong. She was right. A lot of men don't know how to or why they should, but that's exactly why they should, because situations like this. But a lot of men do need to do the work, and I'm here to help. And here is what the guy said in her video. She just wasn't attracted to him enough, fellas. And that's true too, right? It got 455 likes. That's true too. But all in all, the guy didn't have it together, and she thought her don't stink. You can tell she was happy to make a video because she's making money on TikTok as well, right? So she has that going for her too. So she's stacking and bragging. That's what they're doing. Stacking and bragging, becoming men.
I don't know if you call it gatekeeping or if someone just never bothers to tell you, but here's all of the random stuff that I wish someone had said to me long before the age of 54. You're not overwhelmed. You're just overcommitted to things that don't matter. Your fear of rejection and worrying about what people who don't matter think is keeping you from opportunities that are meant for you. If you don't learn to manage money, money will always manage you. You're not behind in life. You're just unwilling to sacrifice comfort for progress. If you're not investing, you're working for people who are. Your friends are a mirror of your standards. Look closely. You're not confused. You're just scared to make a decision. It's your spending habits, not your income, that's keeping you broke. Your excuses are valid, but they're still holding you back. And your emergency fund is for emergencies. Learn to say no. Hope that helps.
Wow. Actually, some decent advice from a lady, but no, she's right. She's right. And more people need to understand that. And she understands now at age 54. To be honest with you, I didn't understand until my 30s. Seriously. Being in the West, I just threw money away. I was living beyond my means. I was caught up in that trap. That was one of my main reasons for becoming a passport bro. The cost of living. I changed my life. I changed my mindset. And I'm never going back.
A few people have asked me my thoughts on the Scott Galloway post about modern dating and men, and here's my thoughts on this. I think the biggest problem with these conversations is how they are framed as though the systems and women are failing men. I think we do this with dating. I think we do this with the male loneliness epidemic. We kind of frame it as though everything is failing men, as opposed to the fact that men are not adapting to kind of modern day life. Women for centuries have had to mold themselves and adapt to this.
Man, they keep throwing male loneliness epidemic out as like a badge of honor. And men would rather be by themselves nowadays. It's like she didn't get the memo. A lot of them don't. They're just talking to make a TikTok video. That's what she's doing. Well, I'm going to make women feel good and get behind me so I can get more views and make more money. You notice I call it out a lot now, right? I do. Because that's what they're doing. It's leading people astray to where they will never make it. To where they will never make something to themselves because of women like her.
The systems that men created to find some sort of success. And now that women are achieving it more than men, we are looking to it and saying we're failing them. We are failing the men. We need to change something. And ultimately, I think what the framing of those things looks like is that we're asking women to change and women to adapt to where men are at, as opposed to asking men to change and adapt to the current systems. And I think this kind of points to the birth rate conversation we were having earlier this week. The economist Claudia Golden cited in certain research that she thinks the birth rate drop is partially to do with the fact that men are not participating in the homes and they haven't adapted to modern day life. women these days are working full time, taking care of the home, taking care of the kids, and that has changed drastically, right, in the last 50, 60 years. And men have not changed with the times, right? Women are working outside of the home, but men are not participating in a more equitable way inside the home. And so women are opting out of that, which we don't talk about enough, right? We don't talk about how the fact that their inaction or inability to adapt and change is part of the reason these things are happening. And so I think as it pertains to like the male loneliness epidemic or all of these things, you know, women now can get a college education. They can have a job. They can have careers. They can have their own money. They can buy their own house. And so they can achieve all of these things on their own, and they no longer have to attach themselves to men to get those things. And now that that's the case, we're looking at it as though there's some sort of crisis on our hands that we have to address. And I think that's the reason I don't like the framing of it. I'm not saying that we shouldn't care about the impact on men. I want everybody to be happy, healthy, and thriving.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
But I also don't think that it should come at the expense of women sacrificing their standards or their wants and their needs. And I think that's the missing part of the conversation.
Men don't care if you sacrifice your standards. Men don't want to be bothered. Like what the lady said in the beginning of the video, she said as black woman, I think the lady, you know, what she doesn't realize, it's modern woman. Modern women don't know how to play their role as woman. They talk too much. Look at her. You notice I said that as she was talking, right? She, I gotta say it fast so they roll with me. That's what she's doing. Let me say it fast so they know I'm committed. So they know I'm driven. I'm a man. Blab them off.
Weird thing to post underneath a video where I'm talking about how I don't like that. But just for the record, let me tell you two stories. Once when I was 18, also on this college campus, walking across the street from the dorms to main campus for an evening class, I was waiting at the crosswalk. There was a man in his mid-20s at the youngest, in his vehicle at the stoplight. He had rolled down his window and was trying to talk to me, so I pretended I didn't hear him. Mind you, there was a right turn lane, but he was in the lane to go straight. So as I crossed the street, because it was my turn, I got to the other side of the sidewalk, and then his light turned green. He cut across somebody else to turn right onto the street where I was on the sidewalk, got out of the car, double parked, got out onto the sidewalk, and asked me if he could take me to lunch. Literally committed multiple traffic violations just to ask me out after I had already ignored him. Mind you, I was fresh out of high school. And you'd think, oh, well, that was like 10 years ago because I'm 28 now. Okay, so last year when I was 27, I had walked to the Chevron for some snacks on my lunch break at work. And the walk back to work, it's about a quarter mile. You go up this road, and then at a certain point, the sidewalk ends. It's pretty much just trees on either side, so I walk really carefully, like in the bike lane. And I had heard heavy breathing behind me, so I assumed it was a jogger. That's not uncommon for that area. So I slowed down and like stepped to the side so the jogger could pass me. It wasn't a jogger. It was a man who saw me at the Chevron a quarter mile back and literally chased me onto an isolated road and said that he just had to ask me out. At that point in time, I already had a fake ring on my ring finger because I had a boyfriend and I didn't want to have to explain to people that I was unavailable. I was hoping they would just get it. But none of that seemed to matter. This guy jogged after me for a quarter mile. So I don't really know what this is referring to, because even when we are trying our absolute hardest to just mind our business, men will still go to extreme lengths to approach us.
Wow. She has to live in an area where the men didn't get the memo, seriously, because she's bragging. This is what they do. Every time she gets on social media and ruins it. What's going to happen now? Imagine men in her area. I don't know. She must be in Wichita somewhere they don't use TikTok, right? Everybody's using TikTok, but a lot of men in her area may not use it. They may be older. That's what's going on, because what are you doing? Men watch these things. I don't think they realize.
It was this bad like 20 years ago, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it, y'all, but I really don't understand how any of these men are gonna get married one day, because it's like they always sexualize us, or like don't want to take us serious at all. Like they just want to be friends with benefits until they're like 40. Like, and I go out, guys. I go to the gym I do things outside. I go to school and I still don't see anybody or meet anybody. So I'm like confused. Like, where the hoes? Where the hoes? Where the hoes?
Just those brain cells. Oh man, that was childish. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Nobody's talking to you. Nobody's asking you on dates. Nobody even looks at you, and they're not going to, because you have standards and you're not going to fold easily. I'm starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, all the girls that are talked to, asked out, they just have different standards than you. They're just willing to fold a lot quicker than you. They're just willing to go with whatever that man says more than you. And when you have standards, and when you have God in your life, or when you know your worth, let me tell you, most men who don't even recognize that, who are not going to abide by that, who don't respect that, will not speak to you. It is loud. You can see it on your skin. You can see it on your body language. You can see it in how you speak. And that's why they will not approach you, because they're like, I gotta come correct if I'm gonna talk to her. So if you feel bad, the fact that you feel like people don't ask you out, people don't flirt with you, people don't give you attention, especially men, remember this: the ones that they're giving attention to is the ones that they know they can take, the ones that they know that they can take advantage of.
I wonder you stayed single.
The ones that they know that are easy, the ones that they know that don't know their worth or are not in a healing journey, those are the ones that are just not where you are. You've worked way too hard.
Delusional.
To be easy. You've worked way too hard for just anybody and everybody to be coming at you. You've worked way too hard for you to rely on a man talking to you for you to know your worth. Do not fold. Do not fold easily, because you did not easily get here. And just be comfortable the fact that not everybody is going to talk to you, because not everybody is worth your time, and they know it.
The things that keep women single. That conversation. Oh, they see it on you. And you do see it on them, right? I've seen it on girls before in the past. They do. They have a look. You see that face? That's the look. Look like they're deer in the headlights. Saying, I'm not talking to her. She's not lying, though. She's not lying. That stuck up look. And you look at him like, you're not even hot like that to be stuck up like that. Seriously. That's how men are thinking. Because men are right. It's wild. Sometimes the prettiest girls are going. And not just going. They're more easier to talk to sometimes. She's coming from, oh, why did you talk to me? Because she's not used to getting talked to. She has her head. Why did you talk to me? And she'll ask that question. Why did you talk to me? Oh, never mind. Yeah, you got to hit with one of those. Just keep walking. Why did you talk? I was, but no, I changed my mind. Seriously. That's what you get hit with back in the days. Why did you decide to talk to me? Oh, because you're beautiful. I'll be lying. All right? I'll be lying. Be serious.
This message is for all the TikTokers out there, the ladies who are wondering why men are not hitting on them more. And they're in their 30s, they're beautiful, and they're saying they're single and they don't want to be anymore. And I mean, I can't speak for why you're not getting hit on as much as you want to be or whatever. But what I can say is, I've never understood why this is a thing, especially for women who don't consider themselves traditional. But they expect men to approach them constantly as opposed to them approaching men. And I just want to give you permission to approach men. Like, I think that's needed, you know? Men like attention too. And if you're looking for a classy guy and you are attracted to a certain man who displays characteristics that you like, there's nothing wrong with telling him he's handsome, or approaching him, or flirting with him, or hitting on him, or asking him for his number, or asking him if he'd like to go out sometime. Okay? Because I'll tell you, these passport bros, these young men who are going to other countries and they're loving it, and they find a foreign wife, I can tell you they're getting a lot of attention from them. Those girls are giving them men attention, a lot of it. and they come right out with it. Wow, you're handsome. You are so handsome. And I'm not talking about prostitutes, okay? I'm talking about women who are serious, and when they find a man, that is the man they are with for the rest of their life. Like, and their value is family, and that's it. Like, these aren't just scams. I mean, scams exist, but I'm saying, for the most part, these men are getting more attention than they've ever gotten in their life, and they're not getting it back home in the U.S. or the U.K. or wherever, the West. So, now I give you permission. And another point is, if you wait around for men to come to you, a lot of those men are going to be players, and they probably got 4 other girls on a hook, okay, that you don't know about. Because I'm sorry to say, but there's a lot of women out there that are gullible, and they're suckers for these men because those men approach them, right? But those men are good at approaching women, and they also have lots of other women. I've seen it so many times because I'm a dude and I hang out with dudes, and I've seen it, and I pick their brain about it. I was never that guy, but I've seen it. Anyway, yeah, I give you permission. I give you permission to flirt with guys, go after them, approach them, ask them for their number. Wow. Especially if you're attractive, okay? Anyway.
He said it. I say the same thing all the time. The way dating is done has to change. Look, women have to open up. You have to let a man know you want him. That's the only way you ladies are going to start getting dates. A man, yeah, he may not know. He may think you're easy. He may say that. But it's not going to happen every time. Think of it like that. You got to do like men. What happens when men talk to women? They go with the odds. So I used to run the city talking to women all day. That was back when I was like he said, when I was a player. Used to go around talking to women. One say no, one say yes. One say no, 3 say no, 2 say yes. 5 say no, 1 says yes. You play with the numbers. It's like sales. So that's how men think of it. And that's how men, and I was younger. That's what men are players. But as I got older, I took the route he was just explaining. Became a passport, bro. Why? Because the love I was shown. And that's what men are going for. Men are going for women who are reciprocating, showing men they want them. And that's the only way a man is going to know you want him. Because men have realized it's definitely more to life than being around women who want nothing to do with him, like most modern women. Thank you for watching. See you next video.